It's really late. It's after 8 o'clock and it's raining. And I'm being a baby. I'm at 0 in my tent. I'm gonna eat breakfast and start getting ready to go. And hopefully I get a break in the rain to get out of my tent and put my tent away in its stuff sack. Well, it has stopped raining for now. And I have eaten and I'm trying to get going, so maybe I'll get out of here at 9:30 and it'll change all the plans I had yesterday, but we'll see what happens. I can hike 20, 22 if the ground's as flat as it was yesterday. Once I got away from the Crater Lake rim, then maybe I can hike 25. We'll have to wait and see. I probably won't make it to Shelter Cove Sunday like I thought was possible. The good news is I tested the tent this morning. It seems to be waterproof. See you up the trail. We are back at the water cache grabbing 2 liters. And we're heading back out on the Pacific Crest Trail. Pack feels amazing. I don't know if I have 2 or 2.5 or 3 days worth of food, but pack feels super light. I just added 2 liters to it, so gotta love that. Body feels good. And for right now, the PCT is still relatively flat and smooth, just like it was last night at the end of the day. This morning, I had my own ambitions to get going early. I was up at 4:30, and it was raining, so I just drank a bunch of coffee, laid down, listened to the rain, free ASMR, and I was up at like 5:30. Just wasn't ready to start breaking down camp and walking out in the rain, so I just edited the videos from Crater Lake and sat in my tent for a long, long time. But 9:30, not too bad to break camp, and I should be able to do 25, especially if the terrain is cruisy. I wanted to get 30. There was 58 left to get to Shelter Cove, and I wanted to get 30 or more and take a big chunk out of that so I could maybe get there Sunday or just camp right outside of there Sunday night and go in early Monday. But no, I have no idea what's going to happen. Probably not going to get there till Monday. But I really didn't start until this time yesterday, and I don't know how many miles I went, but I had a good day. And I've started at 10:30 before and gotten 20, 22 miles, so just gotta see what happens. Hopefully it stays cool like this and doesn't rain, and I can push a little bit. Well, this trail definitely went up. The grade is manageable, but I've been climbing for a minute. It's getting colder the higher I go up. I'm probably a half mile, less than 15 minutes away from the first water source today, which is like 7 miles from where I camped. And after that, I have 2 choices. I can go, I think, 16 miles and go down a half mile, steep elevation to get water. It's like 20 minutes round trip, according to other people in the comment section, how far out. Or I can go like 20 or 22 miles to a water cache. So I haven't made that decision yet, but coming up on the water source, and I'm hoping it clears up a little bit because there's supposed to be really nice views at this water source. That snow bridge is holding on for dear life in mid-August. This water source is one of the best on the PCT, and it's clear enough to get some views. So breaking camp, I left with 2 liters of water, and leaving here I have 3.5. Hoisted my pack up over my shoulder. I felt the difference. It's like 3.3 pounds more. Feels okay carrying it, but lifting it and throwing my pack on was noticeable. But I mean, I gotta figure out, I'd love to go the 22 miles to the water cache. And it's cool out, I have that going for me. But I might need to stop at the 16 miles, depending upon how much water I drank. I just cameled up a little bit. I drank maybe a liter, half liter on the way in, and another half liter at the water source. Well, the sun ducked behind a cloud now, but here I felt the most sunshine that I have all day, so I couldn't resist pulling out my tent and letting it dry a little bit. Now, I had to really be careful with the rocks holding it down because it wouldn't go that far, but I wouldn't be thrilled if it did fly off of this. Not a bad spot to take a break. Well, it's 6:15, and I just walked by the water source. It was 16 miles from the last water source where I pulled 3.5 liters, and I didn't go down to it because it's a half mile or whatever, 20-minute trip, steep elevation. I have a little less than 1.5 liters, and I have 6 miles to go, so that's plenty of water. The issue is it's 6:15, and if it took me 3 hours, then I'm getting there later than I want to, but it's a water cache with camping, and fortune favors the bold. So I have about 400 feet. I have about 400 feet elevation to go up right now. And then it's pretty steady down, losing elevation to the road and the water cache. There's a little spike, but it's probably not as significant as it looks on the elevation chart on far out. It's probably just a quick up-down roller coaster. We'll see. I'd love to make some time up on the downhill, and I'd love to get there before 9, closer to 8:30. We'll see if I have a kick in me like I did last night. It is basically 7 o'clock. I have 4 miles to go. And if I just couldn't get out of my own way, I figured that would take me 2 hours and I'd get there at 9. But I'm very optimistic I should be able to get there at 8:30 going downhill. And that's a win. I think the sun has started to shift where the days are getting shorter, and instead of having daylight till 9, might only have daylight till 8:30, a little later than that. The weather app is saying the sun's going to set at 8:15, so I'd rather not hike till 9. 8:30 is perfectly fine. I didn't mean to rhyme. There is an epic view out there. It is obstructed by this burn scar in these trees, but it's out there. I've downshifted and put it in cruise control. I'm 1.5 miles, about 45 minutes from the water cache and the camping, and it's like 7:40, so I should be there at 8:25, which is fine. I don't feel like pushing. Tired, body sore. I'm going downhill, so I shouldn't have to try too hard. And I don't want high impact for these last few miles. Less than a mile to go, about a half hour. I should be there about 8:15. It feels good to get here today for a lot of reasons. One, I started at 9:30. I made my choices to stay in my tent, and that's been a recurring theme lately. Make my choices, I gotta live with them. But to start at 9:30, this is gonna end up being a 29.8 day. But more importantly, like 2 or 3 times, I kept looking at fire out, and I didn't think I was gonna make it to here. I thought it would take till 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock another time. Then I started believing I could get here at 9, so it's great to get here. It's great to put in 29.8 on any day, but especially a day I started at 9:30. And it's good to get here at 8:15, so I'm not robbing Peter and Paul to pay Mary at all. I should have a normal night and give myself a chance to get up tomorrow morning. I think it was on the Appalachian Trail. I just came to the conclusion, I probably said, if you're gonna start late, you gotta hike late. And if you start early, then you can stop early. Ideally, you start early and you hike late sometimes. You do what you gotta do. You need a lot of different tools in your toolbox to hike a long distance trail like this. There's no right way to do it. There's only wrong ways is another one of my favorite sayings, but some days you gotta do it a little differently than you normally do it. It's 8:10, and it feels good. Thank you, devilfish, for all the water.